Hi everyone, I am back with the review of Money Heist Berlin. Now, I'm going to give you a fresh perspective here. The reason is I did watch the original Money Heist at first. I watched Berlin first. So I didn't know it was a spin-off of our characters from the original Money Heist, Berlin. So I don't know if it was a prequel or a sequel. Didn't know. I had no idea. So for me, this was a brand new character, Berlin, played by Pedro Alonso, and the rest of his cast: Michelle Jenner, Tristan Olua, and so it's a spin-off basically from the original Money Heist. So if you love the original Money Heist, you will like the show very much. It's a really good show in terms of the characters, the actors, the screenplay is decent for most people. But I'll get to my perspective here in a second. I'm telling you what you're gonna see online, how what people are thinking about the movie in terms of how good it is, and sorry, the TV show, how good it is, and how they loved Berlin and how they loved all the characters and how the heist is performed, do they get out of it or not, stuff like that. Now, if you didn't watch the original Money Heist, you're in for a surprise. The screenplay drags and drags and drags and drags. It starts with how Berlin starts to plan his money heist, how he brings in all these people in his heist, who these people are. We talk about their backstories, and then the heist happens, and what happens after the heist. How do they get away with it? Do they not get away with it? If you've seen the Money Heist originally before, you already probably know if this is a prequel or a sequel, so I won't spoil that for you. It's at your disposal. It'll be a surprise for you, especially if you haven't seen the original Money Heist. So for me personally, for somebody who had not seen Money Heist and had heard so much about it, how people loved it, I was bored. The first three episodes are good. The actor playing Berlin, he is phenomenal. I have no complaints about him. The way he carries himself, the way he talks, the way he acts, love it. He was really good, and he was the only highlight in the movie for me. Everybody else, even though they were decent actors, the screenplay did not do them justice, and it drags and drags and drags. The show has 8 episodes. It's a heist. You want to go in, introduce the characters, give them a small backstory, do the heist, get out, or get caught. That's what the story should be. It should be tight. It should not be dragging away on what the characters are doing, what their past is, what's haunting them, and how it's going to affect them. If you want to introduce all of that in the heist, you need to have a proper screenplay, how it will tie into each story, and what has helped them during this heist. Unfortunately, that's where, for me personally, the story falls apart because they're dragging into these long backstories and long this and long that, this love story, and oh my god, I was bored. By the time it was episode 4, I was literally I had to stop watching the show because I was like, okay, this is too boring for me now. I had to stop because I was going to come back and watch it. I did finish the full series, don't get me wrong, I did. But I was bored out of my mind by episode 4 because you're dragging it all. Like, it's too much of a drag. Um, I'm sorry, but you're not keeping me in. Your screenplay is tight, not tight. You're dragging the story out of for no apparent reason, literally. This should have been limited series or something with a small series about 3 to 4 episodes. We've seen so many heist movies and TV shows, so this is not a new concept. So if you're going to introduce something like this, you need to have a better screenplay, better story written down. You can go into people's pasts, but you have to connect them to the heist. But you're not connecting them to the heist, you're connecting to their mental health, and you're connecting to this. Yes, I get that, okay. But that is nothing new. You're not showing me anything new. Yes, there are a couple of good twists and turns, don't get me wrong. Like in episode 6, there was a really nice twist that I enjoyed. I was like, finally something happened. Something interesting happened. Every time they got away from the actual heist of the show, I was bored out of my mind. Unfortunately, it was not interesting for me. Um, s- People are giving it a good rating on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, so people are obviously loving it. As I said, Berlin's a great character. The other actors are okay, but I'm sorry, their stories are not, like, they're too far dragged out for me to enjoy their stories. and they're not connected to the heist directly. And that's where, for me, I am bored because you're taking it away from the actual story. And all these side stories, I don't care for them. I just don't. You need to be more upfront with what your story is and how you're going to present it. Um, so for me, it's an okay show, but nothing great. Um, so did you like it? If you probably did, I would love to know what your comments are, what your thoughts are. Please like, share, subscribe my channel, and thank you so much for watching. By the way, it's available on Netflix. Thanks.